In this session, we explore the veil and the light by examining the second obstacle to peace, the belief that the body is valuable for what it offers. Our aim is to understand how this belief blocks inner calm and how a change in purpose can transform the body from a barrier into a channel for genuine peace. Here we see the body as neutral, awaiting interpretation. The mind chooses its teacher, the ego or the Holy Spirit. Through the ego's lens, the body becomes a source of sickness, separation, and guilt. Through the Holy Spirit's lens, it becomes a means for communication, extension, and healing. The body's meaning is entirely a matter of purpose. The ego isolates the mind by making the body the ultimate goal. When we value the body for pleasure, specialness, or survival, we mistakenly identify with a physical boundary. The result is a sense of being shut off from others, surrounded by walls of form. This slide highlights how that misidentification produces loneliness and disconnection. This diagram shows a self-sustaining loop of suffering. Unconscious guilt in the mind is projected onto the body. To escape guilt, the mind attacks the body, producing sickness and pain. These attacks then fuel fantasies of separation and specialness, which reinforce guilt again. Understanding this cycle is key to interrupting it through forgiveness. We now diagnose the second obstacle as a confusion of levels. The ego promises physical pleasure, superiority, magical fixes, and autonomy. Yet each promise yields a mental symptom: deprivation, isolation, sickness, fear, and guilt. By recognizing that these are effects of a mistaken mental choice, we can address the cause where it truly resides. Special relationships are presented as solutions, but function as devices to bind identity to the body. They depend on seeing the other as a body to use or defend against. By gathering what seems similar and rejecting what seems different, they reinforce bodily boundaries and prevent the mind from remembering its inherent unity with all life. The ego wraps conflict in an attractive frame. We may value the frame, romantic ideals, sacrifice, self-importance, while ignoring the picture it surrounds: ongoing conflict and eventual loss. This slide invites us to look past the glittering frame and honestly assess the content. Only by valuing truth over appearances can we disengage from the ego's bargain. Reinterpretation begins when we see the body as a thin veil before the light. As long as guilt is believed real, the body carries its message of vulnerability and attack. When we allow the light of truth to shine behind it, the body's apparent solidity fades. It becomes a fragile screen, easily overlooked in favor of the radiance beyond. The body's singular constructive purpose is communication. As a temporary learning aid, it helps us develop abilities that undo belief in separation. When offered to the Holy Spirit, it serves healing through union rather than defense. In this role, the body is a neutral instrument, its value determined solely by the intention with which it is used. Here we contrast special and holy relationships. Special relationships pursue separation and extraction, focusing on bodies and reinforcing guilt. Holy relationships shift the goal to shared healing and awakening. They focus on minds, abandon fantasies, and bring truth into everyday interactions. The outcome is a happy dream that extends joy rather than conflict. The holy instant represents a shift from bodily perception to boundless connection. In this moment, the great rays of shared spirit overlap, and we see one another beyond physical limits. The body recedes from awareness as relationships are redefined in light of our common source. This experience demonstrates that true connection is mental, not physical. This slide states a core principle: minds are joined, bodies are not. Mind is inherently whole and without boundaries. Separation appears possible only when we project bodily properties, distance, division onto the mind. When we accept mental unity as our reality, the sense of physical isolation loses credibility, and cooperation naturally replaces conflict. The trajectory of the body is to render itself unnecessary. Initially, under the ego's grip, we fixate on the body as an end in itself. Through reinterpretation, it peaks as a communication tool, especially in the holy instant. Ultimately, as direct mind-to-mind communication is remembered, dependence on the body fades, fulfilling its limited educational purpose. We conclude by looking beyond the second obstacle to peace. It falls when we stop demanding that the body deliver lasting fulfillment. By shifting from seeking specialness to extending healing, the ego's heavy wall becomes a light veil. Together, we quietly release this error and look past the body to the enduring truth of shared mind and peace.